hey there. It's us again. Episode 11, we're going to do another little anime radar, and this one's a little bit more special because in this teeny little closet, we've managed to fit one more body. It's already getting a little heaty in here, but we'd like to welcome our friend Michael to the podcast.
Hello, my name is Michael. I'm really excited to join this special podcast in honor of me.
And the honor is ours. He is... I'm going to act like you're not here and just talk about you, I suppose. But no, he's our buddy, just got into anime, and he is making us actually look like we don't know what we're talking about because of how much he watches.
Yeah, well... yeah,
We've been slacking.
You got a lot of time on your hands.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to outdo that when I watch this much.
He's starting to make us look like chums on some shows that we are in love with, and he's starting to surpass us.
Oh, he'll text me, have you seen this show? And I sit there and I just cry because I know that I have such a long list I'll never get to it. But no, the special reasoning for him being here is we've got two of his favorite shows, which honestly, I probably wouldn't have continued or even seen one of them if he didn't say, this is going to be your jam. So today we've got another just quick two-show radar. We're going to be talking about Kaguya-sama, Love is War, as well as Master Teaser Takagi-san. Is that like the full?
It's either Master or Skilled. I always see both.
Yeah, it's one of those. Just look up Takagi and it'll show up. One show, a shonen. One show, a seinen.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Something of that sort. I enjoy them. Michael enjoys them. Danielle, I think, does.
Oh, I love them. But do you want to talk about what those different classifications are
I'd
first?
like you to.
Because, okay. So we talk about shonen a lot. That's obviously geared towards younger boys.
Of
so
course.
that's going to be a majority of the anime that we watch are shonens.
Mm-hmm.
And so a seinen is geared towards young adult men. And then what was the other one you said?
Those were the two I said.
Yeah, those are two, shonen, seinen.
Oh, okay.
So both geared towards boys, even though they're about love. And there's nothing wrong with that.
And the one girl in the room is going to have some things to say about that when
Which
the time
is
comes.
absolute, utter nonsense. Which would you prefer talking about first? Do we go best first for you, or do we go into...
I mean, let's go with Takagi first.
Okay.
For two reasons. One, it's my favorite. It's the best one, in my opinion.
True.
Two, it's the one that you introduced me to.
Yeah.
Because I remember we were talking about other shows. You said, hey, try this show. Fell in love with it instantly. And when I was reading up about the show afterwards, that's when I kind of found Kaguya. So
Oh, yeah.
that's how I found it and shared it to you. So let's go that way.
And
There you
this
go. It's
is-
perfect.
And, something as Michael was talking, the pupil has now exceeded the master.
Let's
Where-
not go with that.
Only
But
here. I've still got a lot of work to do.
I do definitely claim that I knew it. He was getting into the shows. We had you watching...
I first started with Yu Yu Hakusho and Hunter x Hunter at basically the same time.
Wow, the two shows we bring up every episode, so that's perfect. And then I just remember, I think you said something about like, oh, well, I'm fine with romance shows. And I was
Yeah,
like,
that's how the conversation went.
Yeah.
I remember specifically you were saying how you're excited to when you mentioned it because you had never really shared that or talked about that with as many other people.
yeah,
And you're like, hey, try this. Kind of see where I would go with it.
right.
And I remember the surprise when I fell in love with it. I kept talking to you about it.
Yep. Yeah, generally I'll, if I'm talking to the homies, I'll be like, oh, this one's got good fight scenes. I thought this was my moment. I'm like, hey, this one's cute. And he didn't wince. So I was like, all right, game on. So yeah, it's a phenomenal show that just deals with, I believe it's middle school to start,
Middle school.
correct?
It's like 12 to 14 age range.
Something like that, and instantly in love with both characters. So, as us boys understand, middle school, clearly the girls are smarter at that time, and then we all become equals.
Well, debatable.
But it's essentially the show of this awkward period of this teen boy who's got this girl in class. He's not thinking romantically at all. He's just like, you know what? She keeps teasing me. I don't like it. I'm going to get her back. I think we can say the slight spoiler. It's not very easy for him She is quite skilled, as the title
Well,
suggests.
I was gonna say, just as the name of the show, Master Teaser. I don't think. and
She is
you
the
can-
master.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't think he ever gets one over on her. She's always a step
So
ahead.
I was actually thinking about what to talk about here. There are 3 instances in the entire 2 seasons. 3 instances where technically he does kind of win. He doesn't even realize it though. He doesn't even know.
Is
Is
that
one of them
season
The
2
Rock?
stuff or season 1?
One is season 1. First one's at the end of season 1. Other 2 are both in season 2.
Is one of them the rock skipping part? Oh, see, that's what I would, because it kind of caught her off guard, I think.
Well, I didn't really count that. There were 3 scenes where I feel like she got taken aback and actually got kind of embarrassed or was able to hide it, or he didn't even realize it was going on. So
Okay.
there's only 3 times where he wins, quote unquote, but doesn't even recognize it himself. So in his mind, it's still a loss.
Fair. Yeah, well, you see her blush. Yeah, not often in the show.
Nope.
So but that's good because it's more impactful that way.
Yeah, and it's cute, like having the girl Takagi be the dominant one, and just the innocent nature of the teasing is just so cute because obviously they're still in middle school, so you don't have that. I like how they're teasing with each other, and it doesn't have to be sexual.
Oh yeah,
Because
it's just
You,
adorable.
you have a million other shows, and I'm fine with it. I enjoy it when you get like you have the classic Darling in the Franxx. You know, 02 is so like sexual, and there's a lot of innuendos in
mean,
the show
heck,
and other ones.
Piloting the dang robot is
I know.
sexual.
Down to the robot, the functioning of the robot is slightly awkward, but it works, and I don't mind it. But I like that in Takagi, you can step back from that and you can just focus on like how cute the writing is and how cute they interact with
Just
each
the pure
other.
wholesomeness of it.
Yeah, it's whole. That's a
Yeah.
great word, wholesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
It just it's the entire time you're watching, just a feel good story. Like I'm
Exactly.
smiling the entire time. It's not like I'm laughing hard. There are a few moments, but usually I'm just happy.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those shows. It's one for if you're having a down day. I'd suggest putting this one on. Crunchyroll as usual.
Yes.
I want to say it might be on. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not even going to get quoted on it. Crunchyroll's 100%. We know it's on there.
So
you can
Season
find
one.
it.
Season 1.
Season 1 is. Season 2 is.
Anime Dow.
Well, that's not an actual streaming service,
Well,
but yes, Anime Dow when in a pinch.
just
for
Google
sure.
it. Put an ad blocker on. You'll be fine.
Yeah. So great show. Is there anything more we want to talk about? I feel like we're really skimming the surface of it.
Well, we don't want to spoil anything,
I couldn't agree more.
so
I think what we could say is, the good thing about it too, and it's very digestible in the way of it is a, like not skit, but there's little just kind of
like
chunks of story.
episodic.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily a full story-driven plot line. It's more just little, skits, episodes
Yeah.
that kind of
Each-
show slowly them.
Yeah, so you don't have to worry about the whole, I haven't seen this in months, so I don't even remember where we're at. It's like,
It's just a
she's-
general vibe. Yeah.
Exactly. She's smarter. He's a dope.
And I like that in each episode you get little slices. So sometimes you get like the other friend group, the 3 girls, and their
Mhm.
cute little interactions, and then you come back to Takagi and Nishikata and back and forth. So
Yeah. So yeah, the show of a couple titles that we've seen, but yeah, Master Teaser, Takagi-san. Oh, one more thing to add about it.
Oh
Almost
my
forgot.
gosh.
There is, and I left Japan saying I have no regrets. I have one regret.
I have one regret. I found it.
True.
Had it in my hands. And
You should feel
let it
bad.
go.
So basically, what happened was there was 2 instances in Japan. We'll just get into this one. But now that we've seen season 2 of Takagi-san, we're sitting there and we're like, dang it. We went into a nice shop. I think it was Akihabara.
Yeah, it was off the beaten path a little bit.
Somewhere, one of those great spots. And we're just looking through. There's figures wall after wall as it is there. And she goes, oh my gosh, take a little gander at this. And it is little Takagi sitting at her desk, peering over. It is the perfect figure. It encapsulates her character 100%.
And the quality was so good. I think for that one in US dollars it was like 120 or something like that.
To
It-
which
It was the most expensive.
Yes, us in the past were like, I'm not spending that much. Are you out of your mind? And then we get home, we look it up online. It's 250, I think. Even if we bought it and regretted it, we could have sold it for more. This was a missed opportunity for financial growth and happiness.
And it was torn. It was it was riding the line of, should we spend that much money and will it fit in our suitcase? Because I actually bought a new suitcase for this trip because I knew how many figures we were going to buy. And I had 1/3 of the suitcase that actually had my clothes going there. And it was 100% packed to the brim. So I don't even know if we would have had the room, but we would have made it work.
I would have held her.
Room.
I would have held her the whole flight.
Well, you would have, and you should have, and you could have. And you didn't.
Listen.
It was a mutual.
This is a 50-50 fault.
Yeah, I would just hope that if we go back, in God's good graces, we could find it again. Because
I think
we'll have to fight Michael for it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
been my plan. Every time I think about it, it's like I know if there's one figure I'm buying, it's gonna be that. I have to.
It's like, oh no, Michael, it's $500. I don't care. I don't care. But yeah, so big fan of the show. Love it. Second show we are going to be discussing, of course, is Kaguya-sama, Love is War. We weren't really going to watch it. We had seen the character around, but it wasn't like on the top of our list. Nuh-uh, Michael had other plans for us. So
basically, again, I love Takagi-san so much that I'm looking up everything I can about her, just trying to find more information, or just I want to experience more of it.
yeah,
And I read people on Reddit or comments, and I kept seeing the show Kaguya-sama. So I'm like, all right, let's give this a shot. And just even in the first episode, I was dying laughing. I love the show instantly. It's my third favorite. Takagi-san's my second favorite of all time. Kaguya-sama is now my third favorite.
What's
and
first?
for a reason. Hunter,
Hunter,
obviously.
as
So we had to put that in here again.
there is a reason we're friends.
And it's not just us two, I want the record to show. It's not just Tom and I talking on the podcast how good Hunter x Hunter is. We have a third person now. We're not crazy.
Our friend group, everyone. Listener, you're the only one missing out. Watch the show. All right, but that's not what this is about. Another episodic kind of deal. This is it's actually playing out as little scenarios or quote unquote battles between two members of a student council.
And you have the president and then the vice president.
Yeah, what's the president's name?
Miyuki Shirogane.
And that's why we've got him around.
I
could have
can't
never.
do the names. I know.
And Kaguya Shinomiya.
There we go.
Gosh.
All right, he might be showing up a little bit more. But yeah, you're just kind of greeted with that. Both shows have these nice, like, side characters, too. As you had mentioned, there's the girls that you'll see occasionally in Takagi. Well, you've got one of the best side characters, Chika.
Oh, my gosh. Chika.
I don't know. I love her, but honestly, I think I'm leaning towards Yu Ishigami.
Yeah, he's cool,
He's the
too.
treasurer, yeah.
The treasurer.
He is pretty funny.
Yeah. There's four members.
4 members.
We're focusing
For
on...
now.
Yeah. Oh,
no.
season 2, huh?
I know you haven't watched all of it yet, so I'm not spoiling anything.
Spoiler.
But for now.
Season 1 is where we have gotten to. Season 2 is currently running. It's out by the time... There's only 2 more episodes left, so by the time you're listening to this,
released last weekend.
Just start the show at that point. He's already ripping. He's the man. So yeah, it's these scenarios of Kaguya and then the president, and they both like each other. I think
Yes.
right from the get-go.
So basically, Takagi is just the girl teasing him. He doesn't realize that she's into him, and he's always losing. Here in Kaguya-sama, they're both into each other, but love is war. The one who admits their love loses. So they're both trying to trick each other or force each other to admit their love for them without showing themselves.
Absolutely.
And whereas Takagi's always winning, here it's an even battle. They both have their wins, they both have their losses. They're both scheming constantly, and it's just a bunch of hijinks, and it's just a great show. It's a lot of fun to watch them, like, get each other, trying to force each other to confess.
Oh, absolutely.
And they're both brilliant. So I think, and I'm going to step on some toes
here we
here,
go.
but this is, I think, why Kaguya-sama, I think I like it a little bit more than Takagi. They're like,
Don't say the B word. Do you think it's better?
I think it's hard. I love them both because of the stories, but the thing that I adore and I think I get pulled into the most with Kaguya-sama is the comedy and how spitfire they both are. I like how they
True.
both...
It is comedy gold.
And you have to pay attention because, as Michael has said, you know, they're both playing mind games with each other, and they're both top of the class, so they're both brilliant at being tactful, and they're setting up in their mind, okay, if they say this, I'm going to say this, and they're both trying to checkmate each other. So you're just, it's like a battle, but with the minds, and I think that's kind of what makes me like it a little bit
Sure,
more.
there is no checkers here. This show, you know,
Student
Takagi,
chess.
yeah, Takagi, a little bit more on the checkers. It's a little bit more this, and I think this is high school, correct?
Yes.
So this is a little bit older in age, you know, a little bit more, the humor's a little bit more fun. I know there's one instance with the treasurer, and he's just constantly basically like saying, all right, well, I want to go die. He is just an absolute spirit animal.
Oh, he's I think honestly my favorite character on the show.
He's very good. I do want to get into season 2.
Yeah.
We're going to start that
And
We
soon,
have
he
so
does
much.
grow more in season 2. You'll love it.
which is perfect. So yeah, in this, another cool thing about this one, you know, Battle of Love, but there's also an announcer. So it almost feels like an
yeah.
actual almost sport that you're watching, because at the end of each scenario, whether it be like, you know, the president, didn't he get a new phone? And he was like, all right, now she'll give me her number.
To communicate their line addresses or whatever.
The line
it is.
addresses, yeah. So it's just them battling of who's going to give their information to the other one. And then, yeah, by the end of it, whoever had won in this scenario, or if they had tied, they literally stop the show, cut to an outside establishing shot, and just say, both lose, or
Or
whatever.
this party wins because of this. Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
he lost because of this.
It's so good. Even just talking about it, I do kind of want to rewatch the shows again.
For the wins and losses, it's not even just the president and Kaguya. It's the other characters as well, because it's not only about them. There's the supporting characters do show up a lot, and they lose or win as well.
Yes.
Or they upset the win that they
Yes,
almost have.
yes.
Which
Yeah.
I love that Chica episode where they're trying to decide where
card.
to. Yeah, and you know how that upsets all of the planning, and then Chica might walk in and then just upsets everything Kaguya had set up, and she's like fuming. And
Yeah.
and then she'll turn like evil mode, which I think is so adorable when she gets that like hate
Yep.
eyes.
she turns into you know, the love detective at one point. Was it the detective?
Yes. She, I mean, the detective, the counselor, she loves the costume room.
Yeah.
She shows up
Yeah.
all the time.
And she also has one of the best credits moments of the show.
Which
Yes.
is a big meme. So you've probably seen it. You don't know
Yes.
where it's from.
If not, currently right now, without watching the show, go ahead and do a quick YouTube of the Chica dance. It's lovely.
Yeah.
I
And
enjoy it.
when we finally got to that episode, we were so
I
excited.
was like, yes, about dang time. Then also, you know, with this being high schoolers getting, you know, this Kaga, you can see a little bit more similarities to other anime. This was one show that I can't say had an official beach episode, but it had a snippet of a beach episode when they're fantasizing the
yeah.
that was a fun little one of just like pure female what would you even call that? Insecurity, I suppose.
Yeah, because
You don't get to see it often from her in that show.
no, she
Well,
feels. Well, we're only on
maybe.
We're talking about. We
I
only
can't
see-
remember what scenes or what seasons these scenes show up, but it does kind of happen.
He's playing him in his head. He's got a projector going right now.
I'm trying to just.
Yeah, so just another great show. I think both should definitely be on the radar if you like romance. If you like comedy, I would definitely start with Kaguya over
Yes.
Takagi. But both have little funny moments.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I just to put the nail in the coffin. I know you're wrapping this episode up, but
I don't think
just
I am.
just to put a nail in the coffin of why you should say Takagi is better.
It's
because-
Takagi.
Kaguya. I'm mixing them together.
I'm mixing them both. Listen, I had a glass of wine before this. Was not a good idea.
Look at that. That's the name of the episode. Anime Radar Takagi.
Hey, that works. I kind of like
Our
it.
SEO is going to be awful. Though.
So the reason why Takagi is so much, or wait, No.
Takagi is better, but
Yeah, you
I know you disagree.
Kaguya-sama is better because it has a quotable line that we say all the time.
Oh, okay.
Which both of you, I mean, if that...
But Takagi is the same thing with her.
True.
The reason why Takagi is number one for me, because I do agree that Kaguya might technically be better or more digestible or more accessible to people,
Sure.
but Takagi just leaves me feeling a certain way. And every time I see any picture of it in any scene, I'm just like, I get drawn into it and I can always hear her voice, no matter what. Just,
It's the and then it's her laugh,
her laugh.
Yeah.
which is so, you hear that, you know it's that show. Very, very distinct laugh.
And
from
because you hear it
Takagi.
every episode, 20 times an episode, because that's all it is. Her laughing at Nishikata. So.
Exactly. I definitely think they're both even playing field. I do say Takagi is more on the wholesome feeling, whereas
If you want to just laugh your ass off,
Kaguya.
Kaguya.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, we agree with you. We're slightly saying that Takagi has just a
A
little bit
of an edge.
of an edge for us.
What's that line that we say? Is it Office Space that we watch?
No,
that- what is that from?
Workaholics.
Workaholics.
That's fine. I get that, but you're wrong and I hate you.
It's from Workaholics. But Kaguya does, in fact, and what was being mentioned, the pivotal line in that show, and it cuts to her face with these just dead eyes. I think it's my favorite moment in most of the episodes. And she just says,
おかわいいこと
so, I mean, I think that's as much as we can really talk without going into just detail.
Because I can easily go into detail on everything, but then they're spoiling the show.
They're spoiling the show, and then there's this hot closet for 2 more hours. So are we? You, I guess, can officially attest to this. Are we lying about this closet?
I mean, yeah. No, you're not lying. It is pretty hot in here. It's pretty warm. And it is kind of cramped. It's definitely, I'm sure it's a lot easier with 2 people, but with me
No,
here.
it's just as bad.
It's just as bad.
hot.
We just took more stuff out for you.
Okay.
And-
Well, I appreciate it.
Exactly. So if you hear any, bumps or nudges during this one, don't worry. It's just 3 people squirming in a closet. Take that how you will. But yeah, I think that does it for this one.
Yep.
Mike, thanks for being here.
Yeah,
buddy.
of course. Again, I love this show. These 2 shows, I'm happy to talk about it.
Absolutely. He doesn't like our podcast. Did you notice that? He says, I love this show. No. I meant the 2 shows, not your show. But regardless, very happy to have our first guest ever. Honored for it to be him. And in our usual fashion, I'm done. So Danielle, say goodbye.
Bye, guys.